Calvary, greetings, children of God. My names are Mr. and Mrs. Manson Kesete. We are here to glorify our Lord Jesus Christ for the wondrous work that He has done in my life in regard to healing.
And may you tell us, what is your testimony?
My testimony is about healing.
Before you came to church, may you tell us what was happening in your life?
Sons and daughters of Calvary, allow me to take you through my journey of healing. In the month of August, I had a problem of the leg. I went to the hospital. They made some medical tests, and they realized that I had bone and marrow infection. And as they have realized that I had bone and marrow infection, I was admitted. Sons and daughters of Calvary, to my shock, the very first day that I was admitted, when I was checked the high blood pressure and the temperature and all the preliminary checks that have been done in hospital, they realized that I had a lot of problems or sicknesses. Sickness number 1 was short of breath. Sickness number 2 was lung infection, sugar diabetes, high blood pressure, together with the infection of the bone and the marrow.
And may you tell us, how long have you been struggling before you were diagnosed with all of these illnesses?
Children of God, the issue of the infection of the bone and marrow is something that is over 20 years. I'm saying over 20 years because I was once treated for that infection here in South Africa in a hospital, one of the hospitals here. And I thought by then I was completely healed. To my surprise, it surfaced last year, August.
And after all the diagnosis the doctor gave you, what was his or her solution? What was the solution that the doctor gave you?
Basically, the doctor, what they did, they gave me strong antibiotics and they gave me some painkillers as a way of treating the condition.
And did any of those medication help in any way?
The medication did not help in any way, children of God. Every time, even when I've taken the medication, I was forced to elevate the leg. I would say, in a way, I was sitting on 2 chairs. The other chair has to be in front of me, elevating my leg. It was always in pain. I would wake up in the middle of the night to take other painkillers to reduce the pain in the leg.
And may you tell us, after that, all of this has happened in your life, what happened when you came to IM Ministries?
Basically, what brought me here, children of God, was I was in search of a solution or in search of healing from Jesus to touch my life and change my story.
And when were you in one of the services? Which services did you find yourself in?
I was in the service of the 22nd of October.
And may you tell us what occurred in that service?
Immediately when I arrived here, children of God, I registered for prayer line. And the man of God came to me. He prayed for me. The very time that he prayed for me, children of God, something that came to me as a surprise. When he was praying for me, he laid his leg on top of my leg. Imagine you thinking that the leg is pain. And of us of little faith, I was listening to the pain, how severe it will be when he laid his leg on my leg. But to my surprise, when he laid his leg on top of my leg, the pain disappeared.
Clap hands for Jesus. And after the man of God touched you, what happened after that?
After the man has touched me, We went back home. Basically, when we came here, because I could not drive, my wife could not drive, we asked for my brother to drive us down here. And we are living in Francistown. My brother is living in a village near Gaborone, which means from here we were to drop him in Gaborone, then we drove to Francistown. Children of God, when I speak of Francistown, I'm speaking of cities that are far apart by 435 kilometers. So I had to drive the car myself from Gaborone to Francistown, and I experienced no pain at all.
Clap hands for Jesus. And may you tell us, what is that we are seeing on the board?
What you see here on the board, children of God, these are the conditions which brought me here. Immediately when I got in the hospital, they realized that I had a problem of heart. That basically it was heart failure. And I was hypertensive. And the issue of the infection of the leg. Sugar diabetes also took its part in my body. The shortness of breath, which was a result of the infection of the lungs.
Now tell us, after you've received your healing, where are those illnesses? Where do you stand?
Children of God, immediately after the man of God prayed for me, I went back home and I was supposed to have gone for a checkup the second week from the time that I was here. Because of the healing, you'll be surprised, I forgot to go for the checkup. The checkup was supposed to be on the 2nd of November. Children of God, you should know that as Africans sometimes, we are pushed to go to the health centers by our condition. When the condition has disappeared from you, you will tend to forget. This is what happened to me. I forgot to go for a checkup. Only to realize 2 weeks after that day has passed, I remembered that I was supposed to have gone for a checkup. And I went for a checkup. Immediately when I went there, they took the blood samples to check whether the infection was still there on my system. And to God's glory, there was no infection at all.
Clap hands for Jesus.
And again, the sugar diabetes. When they checked sugar level, it was 100%.
Indeed, we serve a living God.
Again, the issue of a lung infection, which was the shortness of breath. When they checked the oxygen level in my blood, it was 100%.
People of God, he was healed from all of these illnesses. Indeed, we glorify God and his name. Ma'am, Calvary greetings, and may you tell us, how have you also struggled because of your husband's condition?
Calvary greetings. Indeed, there is God in this place. The time when my husband was hospitalized, we took him for the leg infection, only to realize when we got there, the doctors were running helter-skelter, saying there is shortness of breath, there is diabetes and all heart problems. I was very afraid by that time. And immediately when we got here, we came because of the medical bill. Because the Bonemarrow refused to pay the bill. And we came here to seek guidance from the man of God. Only to shock us, the man of God, when we got here, he healed the leg of my husband, which was the main problem, because the funds that we were supposed to pay the medical bill, it was from my husband's work. And because of the sickness, he was not able to pay. And because now he was healed, immediately when we got here, he managed to go back to work. Right now, as we speak, we are still paying the bill, and there is no problem, there is no sickness, he is healed.
Clap hands for Jesus. Indeed, God uses man to heal his people. Now, after everything you've experienced, you know the situation. What advice would you give to those who find themselves here ill or with any problems? How would you like to advise them?
My advice to you, saints, is that give all your burdens to God. He will really take care of them.
Clap hands for Jesus. We thank you very much for your testimony. May you go kindly live for Christ.